You're very critical of what you might call sort of left liberals.
Absolutely,
Liberals.
yeah.
So can we get to what's the nub of your problem with them? That's the heart of it. What's the essence, as it were, to use the word horrible essence, of your disagreement with the liberal left position? What's the core of the problem with their worldview?
The core of the problem is, again, in psychoanalytic terms, you could put it that it's the problem of fetishist denial of, I don't know, like this old word of class struggle, let's say social tension or whatever. I think, this very naive, we can debate about it, psychoanalytic notion of fetish. Fetish is very naive Freudian theory. The last thing you see before you notice that it's very naive. I'm not advocating it. Before you see that woman has no penis. So that's why it's fur, like pubic hair, and so on. But this idea is important, that you are confronting a social antagonism, and fetish is the element which somehow stands in for that antagonism, but at the same time obfuscates it. That's why, for example, in fascist anti-Semitism, Jew is a fetish. Jew is a stand-in for social antagonism. That's why if you analyze anti-Semitic figure of the Jew, it combines upper and lower class features. Jews are too intellectual, money laundering, and dirty, promiscuous, and so on. So my suspicion is that this is why left liberals hate Trump so much. I mean, I hate him. He's disgusting. He's crazy. He married a Slovene girl. How can I? Serious guy. But what I'm saying is that it's as if Trump is the last thing they see before they see class struggle, social antagonism. And that's why Trump won. Because left liberals like to displace social antagonism with, they love fight against racism, feminist struggle, and so on, just not to control social antagonisms. I am all for anti-racism, feminism, and so on, but connect it with social struggles and so on. And that's what, for example, bothers me with Me Too. My hero, do I quote her here or somewhere else? I don't know. It's a lady called, I think I didn't confuse the name, Tarana Burke, an old American dignified black lady who even invented the term years ago of Me Too. And it's horrified at what happened now with this. Basically the medium for failed movie stars and so on. You know who is even my hero here? The actress, political hero, Kirsten Stewart. He made recently a wonderful interview for, I don't know, Vanity Fair or Vogue, where she also attacks this official line of Me Too, and she says, why focus on failed stars? She says, make just one step back. Go to any studio, all the makeup girls, all the secretaries, that they're regularly sexually harassed, nobody even mentions that, and so on and so on. I mean, and this Tarana Burke says the same. They said originally Me Too was meant, and in some countries work like this. I like South Korea, where it's a mass movement of women, tens of thousands demonstrating and so on. And the way it was twisted here, that's my bad feeling with left liberals. It's the same with refugees. This got me into a lot of trouble. No, as if I'm brutal, let the refugees starve. No, I'm saying let's not turn the problem of refugees into a humanitarian problem. Let's make a step back. Let's try to change the situation which creates refugees. Why did United States attack Iraq? What goes on in Syria? Go to Libya. Go to Congo. Nightmare. No, you change it into a humanitarian problem. People are arriving there, starving. We will do something. More has to be done. I more and more think that this liberal obsession with refugees, open our gates today, it's a very disgusting manipulation with ordinary people. The upper classes, they live in dirt. enclosed areas. They never get into a contact with refugees. And it's ideal so that you cook up a conflict between two groups of underprivileged people. Ordinary people and refugees, and you are above with your moral wisdom. In Slovenia, my country, when there were 2-3 years ago a big wave of refugees, I was for them, but I understand ordinary people. On the border with Croatia, there were farmers close to the border. One day, one morning, in front of your house, there is a column of 10,000 refugees. And of course, they are humans like us. There are criminals among them and so on. All the big city, Ljubljana, capital of Slovenia, elite were shocked. Racism, primitive, ordinary people. No, this is what I hate. You know, this fake upper middle class liberal approach, which then, which basically again is here to obfuscate through social antagonisms.
Yeah. So, short little follow-up on that, because I mean, you'd still use the term communist to describe yourself, and partly I think
to provoke again.
But
it's nice term.
No,
everybody can be socialist. Bill Gates is a socialist. Communism is.
But you know, partly. But you know, because partly, as you say, that all these other things are distracting from the fundamental struggles. So, for that reason, in America, Trump or Hillary, you vote Trump. Short question.
But
in
not
the UK,
because of Trump himself,
no.
but because Trump, precisely because the horror he is, gave a push to the left. Yeah.
So in the UK today, Corbyn,
Corbyn
or Johnson?
No. It's not that I'm Boris Johnson or that I am, in France, Marine Le Pen. I made a judgment. This was not a principled decision.
I understand. So,
I will give you a very precise answer. I think, and it's an empirical judgment, maybe I was wrong, but I think the United States are such a diverse country with so many different structures of power that Trump in power in the United States, it's different than Boris Johnson here, or even more than Alternative for Germany in Germany, or especially Marine Le Pen in France. I think that Trump is worth, maybe I was wrong, it was not a transcendental decision for Trump is maybe worth the risk. Boris Johnson is not, Marine Le Pen is definitely not, and so on. But what worries me, aren't you worried? Like the total disorientation, how successfully Labour Party is screwing things up and ruining itself. Are they all working for Boris Johnson or what? And this is the question I ask myself. I would still vote for them. But in the United States, my God, what the Democratic Party is doing now, trying to sabotage Bernie Sanders, all the dirty games, they're really doing everything possible to make Trump re-elected. If I were to be a Stalinist, I would have said Democratic Party is the main agent of Trump.
Okay.